Are you a Christian who wants to read and pray more next year? As the end of the year approaches, it's always important for us to think about ways we can be more devoted to God and His Word. And as I was thinking about my year, I just so happened to glance down at this old notebook from 2015. And I was flipping through it and I noticed this method of reading. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I had started this method of reading where I had connected my Bible reading to my prayer. I had a daily method that was super easy for me to keep up with. I could fit it all on a page or two in this tiny notebook, but I'm going to teach you how to use this method so that maybe as a Christian who has ADHD, or you battle distraction, or you just need a better routine, you'll benefit from this method. And this method is called the SCAN method, S-C-A-N, the SCAN method. And it's very simple. And I'm going to walk you through it in light of what I read this morning, which was Genesis chapters 1 through 3. That's my reading. I've read 1 and 2. I plan on reading 3 after making this video. But as I read through Genesis 1 and 2, if I were to use the SCAN method, the first letter is S, which is study. And this doesn't mean literally you have to study, pull out commentaries, do exegesis, but it's looking deeply at some verse or some topic or some section of your reading and coming up with one thought or one aspect of your reading that you want to think about and pray about. So, for example, in Genesis 1 and 2, so far I've read that God called Adam to work and keep the garden, which reminds me of a theology of work. And as I think about my work as a teacher and as a pastor, that's something that I need to be praying through. So for the S, I'm going to write down work and keep in my life, which is in light of work and keep the garden. And so then as I have that in mind, the next letter is C, which is cherish. And the question is, how can I cherish God, not only in light of my passage, but in light of that instruction? And when you think about this C, if I'm reading Genesis 1 through 3, for cherish, I can cherish God that He created this vast universe. When I look out the window, I can see His glory. When I step out into nature, I can feel and see the glory of God at work. And obviously it's not His fully displayed glory, but it does declare His glory. But I can cherish God not only because He made this universe, but also because He made me in His image to work and keep the creation He made. As a Christian, I can cherish God that I have this responsibility, that I've been made in His image, and that God sent Jesus to be the ideal man, the perfect man who could do this on my behalf, and then saved me so that I could then work and keep His great creation. And so just with the cherish, I'm going to write down some of these things I just said about cherishing God in light of what I've read. And then the A is admit. And as you can already hear, I admit that I don't work perfectly. There are days where I slack off. Right now I'm on break, so I'm resting, but there is a sense in which I need to be working around my house. There's a sense in which I need to make sure I'm keeping that work and that keep mentality with regard to my family. How am I leading my wife and my children? How am I loving them well? How am I building a Christian home for my family? But also, I'm a pastor. I'm a bivocational pastor. So how am I working at sermon prep? How am I working to plan the year? How am I working to disciple people within my church? How to love them, care for them? And so I can admit, God, I fall short of this all the time. And one specific area is I allow creation to get me off track. So I'll be on my phone for hours instead of reading and praying. I'll be locked in on a video game with my kids. Not that that's bad, but for excessive amount of time, instead of reading or preparing my sermons, I will talk about silly things like basketball games and weather instead of leaning into discipleship. And this is not to say that you've got to do everything perfectly or be overly self-conscious, but there is a sense in which I need to make sure I'm working and keeping the garden, not just entertaining myself, not just having fun, but really pouring into this life that God has given me, using my callings as a husband, as a father, as a pastor, as a teacher, and using those to glorify God and build His kingdom. And then finally is the letter N, which is needs. And after I have looked at this passage, I know what I need to be doing. I've cherished God before I've confessed sin or asked for anything. Then I admit my sin, I confess my sin, and then finally I lay out my needs. And this is where you take your prayer list and you can lay out some needs of people around you. You can lay out your own needs, but also don't forget what you studied. Lord, I need help with organizing my calendar. Please help me find a tool, an app, a resource that can help me plan my year better. Or let's say in working and keeping, I feel like I'm not kept in my home. Lord, give me a strategy, give me the energy and the diligence to keep my areas clean, to help my children learn how to keep things clean. Help me to be disciplined, to lead my family in family worship, no matter how tired I am, no matter how unideal the day is. And God, I have ADHD, and some days things go really, really well. And some days things go really, really poorly. On those really, really bad days, Lord, help me do the things I need to do. And on the good days, help me get extra finished because I'm feeling that I have more energy. So you just take that scan method and you just apply it. It connects your Bible reading to your prayer life in a way that you could do this in 5 minutes or you could do this in 15 minutes. And again, the scan method is very simple. Study, cherish, admit, and then needs. And like I said, I'll have a resource for you in the description, just explaining how to do this method and with an example. And I hope this blesses you. I hope you're encouraged by this, and I hope you can use this method in a repeatable way to help you walk with Christ more next year. That's my goal, and that's why I'm sharing this with you. I have lots of other videos, and I'm really trying to zoom in on the ADHD lens. The Undistracted Christian is devoted to helping Christians with ADHD, with busyness, with distraction, just follow the Lord more fully. So check out these videos. I got some playlists you can watch just to help benefit your spiritual life. As always, I'll see you soon. Grace and peace.